here in the north, this is the land of Vikings, and with the Yaller horn bellowing throughout U.S. Bank Stadium, a Nordic nation of 70,000 strong rises up with a cry of Skål to usher two teams into battle. Coming up, a contest that looks real good on paper between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. On the Packers sideline, a look at their head coach. These guys hoping to make it 2 wins in a row this week. Running the show across the field, that's the head coach of the Vikings. The guys energized by this home crowd, ready for some football. Brandon Aubrey has the ball teed up. Kate Scott and Brock Heward up in the booth for this one. And we're off on EA Sports. Starting from the 5. Jukes away from one. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Well, we'll pause here, and for good reason. One of the Packers injured on that play and is being tended to. All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. Takes the handoff, now to throw. Looking right, and he finds it. And this one doesn't go far. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
They're going play action. Completed over the middle. And he's not going to get the first. He made it real close, though, didn't he, Bronk? It's a gain of 5, 3rd down coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll try and pick this up on the ground. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it will largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. So now it's the Packers getting out on offense for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the Utah State product and former first-rounder back in 2020, Jordan Love.
And when we look back at last week's win, Kate, pretty easy to see those 4 touchdowns. A lot more of an impact on the game than the 1 interception he threw. Wasn't quite perfect. I'm sure that pick will nag at him, but you'd welcome an encore of everything else he was doing in that ball
It's on
game.
the turf, the ball's out, he lost it. And he falls on his own miscue, and that sets them up with a 1st down. Waiting their turn on that sideline. You'd have thought they'd be focused in and ready for this, Brock, but instead, their very first snap nearly ends with them giving it away.
Well, thankfully, somebody was focused and quick thinking to get back on that ball. Now you got to settle down. You got to get back to that script and flush that negative play away.
And he gets this one up to the 40-yard line. So gets 16 yards on that play. And that's good for a Green Bay 1st down. Play action, Love. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
4 yards. That's another Packers 1st down. It's a gain of 17 yards.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL, but it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock them behind the sticks. Job well done there.
Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, it's 3rd down. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Looking to his fullback now. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it'll give the Packers the 1st. Offense already looking like they're in mid-game form. They've got it down to the 32. Now Love on the play fake. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. It's a sack on 1st down. We'll see if it changes the play they go with now on 2nd.
When they were in their defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go and let that pass rush get home.
Here's Love to throw. We've got a screen to the running back. He brushed him off with ease. And he's forced out of bounds after a nice play there, but still brought not enough to avoid third down.
It's a gain of 15 yards and leads to third down.
Love from the gun. Oh, he missed that one, and he knew it. Put it behind his guy, and now it's fourth down. The former soccer star, Brandon Aubrey, on now to attempt the field goal. This, 42 yards from the right hash. Aubrey puts it through, and that will get them on the board.
I'd say all in all, that's the exact type of start this team was looking for. 2 possessions in, they've got the lead, a little early momentum with that field goal.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. His return starts at the 5. He dodged the tackle, and he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Vikings and their quarterback ready to take over once again. And as he continues lighting up the stat sheets this season, we can see he's still chasing one man for the NFL lead in passing yardage. First down, play action. Called in left side. And the defense waiting for him at the line, and he goes down.
Number 84. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 25-yard line.
Throwing it on 2nd down. Finds him over the middle. And a nice game here, but it stopped short of the first.
Complete to number
3rd and just 2 to go.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Here he is on 3rd and short. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete. 4th down coming up. Well, he'd been perfect to that point on the drive, Brock. First time we've seen this coverage force him into a misstep in a while.
I know you hear me talk all the time, Kate, about the rhythm of an offense, right? And I look at it through those optics so much. But it's the same thing defensively. You've got to get a stop, see the ball hit the ground to knock them out of that rhythm.
The Green Bay offense returning to the field for their 2nd possession. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Love with it on 1st down. Hits his running back. And he's going to be stopped after reaching up to the 33. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. Well, you love when you can go from 1st down to 1st down, Brock. It makes things easy for an offense, and it is the primary reason that he gets the looks that he does.
Every touch he gets has a solid chance of working out just like that, and it's why many of these first quarter looks have his name all over them.
Completed to his running back. And this one does not go far.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Shotgun now for Love. Has him on the quick hitter. Hits some space around midfield. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's good for a Green Bay 1st down.
That's good for a Packers 1st down.
Stick it in the air. Love. It is caught left side. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. That's 16 on the pickup. And it'll give the Packers the 1st.
16 yards. 1st down, Green Bay.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him. Turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
Trying to make it happen, but no luck. This goes backwards on 1st down.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in the locker room and in the huddle is you could be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
Finds a man right side. He's forced out of bounds after a nice play there, but still, Brock, not enough to avoid 3rd down.
3rd down and 2.
Throwing now on 3rd and 2. Got his man. It's Golden. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
A gain of 12 yards. That's another Packers first down. A gain of 12. First down.
Here's the lone back on the handoff. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Go get him.
To the air with Love. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Green Bay. The Packers stretch their early lead to 9. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. He sure did.
Brandon Aubrey now on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Packers go up 10-zip here in the first. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Fielded at the 7. This manages to get just beyond that 30-yard line. The Vikings now set to take the field. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
Pressure coming, and they take him down. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. After that defense, who puts a sack on the board.
And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop it. These two NFC North teams have played one so far. It's a 10-0 ball game. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. We're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. They give to Hall on the draw. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Packers are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season. And just like that, a really good drive is taken away with an INT.
Sure was a lot of promise on that series, right? That's a small silver lining for them at the very least, but probably won't be much comfort now. And it's going to feel even worse when this quarterback watches the tape tomorrow.
The Packers and Matthew Golden ready to take over once again on offense. And so far, with a chunk of the season gone, you can see he's been the league's most productive receiver in terms of yardage. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. Big play, pushes them beyond midfield. And he gets this one down to the 27. So that's going to go as a pickup of 36 yards. And that's good for a Green Bay first down.
A gain of 36 yards. And a Packer first down.
Back-to-back carries here. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
A gain of 10 yards.
Love now, off the play action. Brought in. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. 4 downs to get this across. Here's first and goal.
That's another Packers first down.
They'll try and punch it in. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on first and goal. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you can put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
Loss sets him up at the 9-yard line. It's second and goal. Love out of the shotgun. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. And as that one falls incomplete, Brock, the pressure ticks up just a bit because this has been too good a drive to not pay it off in the end zone.
Yeah, Kate, it's time to find your best matchup. Yeah. Unless you're already committed to going for it on 4th, you've got one more shot. Players, not plays. Get it to your best player.
Took his shot at 6 that time. And now it's decision time on 4th and goal. Aubrey puts it through. And their special teams converts to get them something out of that possession.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
He fields it from the 8. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Vikings offense back to the field now. They trail 13-0 here as they go in search of their opening score. Minnesota into formation. It's 1st and 10. Back to work after throwing the pin. Short pass brought in. And he's brought down after a short gain.
It's a pickup of 3.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And they'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. They gain 11 on that play. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
An early jump and the flags come in. I think this is going to go against the defense. He thought he had the timing down and could make the play, but just a hair too early. He'll look to throw. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
Safe to say there's been an early disconnect between the planning phase and the execution phase for this offense. Might be time, Kate, really to get back to basics, to the calls that you just trust the most.
Keeps himself upright. And they're going to stop him after he gets this to the 26. Offense is set. 1st and 10.
The Vikings first down. 1st and 10.
Throwing now off the play action. He's got a man left. And they'll stand him up and sit him down at the line. Ooh, after that play, we can tell he's hurting. He's someone they need to help their playoff hopes. Training staff working on him now. 2nd and 10. Here's a pass. Completed over the middle. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. They're down at 4 now. This is the 7th play in this drive. Setting up to throw. That's caught for the first. And that's a Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings start to fight back with their first points of this game. Riley Patterson on for the extra point. The point after splits the upright. And the Vikings get it back to within 6. So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. Here's a return from the 7. Escapes a defender. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. The Packers and this running back headed back out for a new series. And among all the team's pass catchers, partner, he has been one of the brightest spots in this opening half. I mean, I think we agree he's outshined several of their receivers and tight ends that we're used to seeing be the guys to get those targets. They'll run here on first down. An even 10-yard gain on the play. And it'll give the Packers the first.
First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. First down, and they go right back to it. And it's a nice gain off a really good effort there just to stay upright. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Takes the handoff, now Love. He puts some air under it, deep down the left. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 6.
They'll throw, 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. The Packers send out their punting unit. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. Surprisingly, had to punt 5 times in last week's win, and he sends this away. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. Putting the tight end in motion. To throw here on 1st down. Caught by his back. And some excellent work to drive them all the way up past the 30-yard line. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Running left side by Jefferson. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. Just a yard left to go on 2nd down.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 43-yard line.
Blown back, it's the handoff.
The ball carried by number 37.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
3rd down from the gun. He has the first over the middle. And he has it right near midfield here. It's about a yard short. They get an even 10 on that play. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota. Motion man right is Jefferson. 1st down, play action. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Trying to throw this from the gun. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. Gets him close to 8 on that effort. Nice slide at the end. That brings up 3rd down. Ooh, the hard count worked. Somebody jumped. I think this is going to give them the first.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
Well, it's not a long walk to the new spot, but it is a disappointing one to make. Instead of 3rd down, they're now defending 1st and 10. They'll run here following the penalty. And 2nd down is going to be a good bit tougher. He can't even get back to the line. This play loses yards. Man, some of these middle backers are so impressive these days, Brock. No problems at all for him to range downhill and cut that play down behind the line.
Kind of the calling card of the position played today. They're not as big as they once were, but boy, can they run. As you said, whether it's downhill or sideline to sideline like that.
Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up.
Incomplete. Makes it 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
To the air on 3rd and long. Catch made over the middle. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks. The Packers take their first time out, as they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up. Riley Patterson ready for the field goal try. All spotted on the left hash, 49 yards out. The kick by Patterson is good. And that cuts the lead in half, down to 3.
Hey, facing a deficit that's going to follow you into halftime in that locker room, they will welcome those 3 points. A little bit of feel-good momentum.
Ball is set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Starting from the 5. This makes it up to the 25. The Green Bay offense about to get started once more. They're getting close to a minute to play, Brock, and they're going to need that time with a long field ahead. Offense showing trips out right as they get set for this 1st and 10. Love from the gun. Completes this one to Kraft. And he's going to be pushed out up near that 40-yard line. New set of downs for him. He'll start at the 38. On 1st and 10, here's Love. Finds him over the middle. And he's tackled for a short gain.
That's not a big completion on a stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
49-yard line.
Love to throw again. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. No luck on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Back to the air. Love. Finds his man. It's Kraft. And he's going to be across midfield, close to the 45 before going out.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Throwing his Love on 3rd. Tries to lob that one up, and it's intercepted. Jack Campbell at the INT. And the Vikings might be able to get some points late after the interception.
Intercepted.
Working on 1st down. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to be driven out, but a nice pickup. Gained about 8, 2nd down.
Complete to number 85. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings
Off
up
the play fake, he'll throw. Brought in right side. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. Timeout called by the offense, and with another timeout available, they could actually get another 2 plays if they work quick.
At the 24-yard line.
The kick by Patterson is good. And that's going to tie us up just before halftime.
And with that one, you're going to see some salty foul movements in that locker room. You hate all turnovers. But that one, you got the 3 points, and you hate those even more.
Return starts from the goal line. Jukes away from one. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our 1st half. So we're all knotted up here at the half, Brock, as we send this over to our buddy Scott Hansen, who's got our halftime report. Scott?
Okay, Kate, thanks very much.
Now, apologies to our buddy Scott Hansen. We're going to catch up with you after this one, Scott. We're going to jump past halftime, get you right back to the start of the 2nd half. Well, we're set up for an incredible 2nd half, all tied as we kick it away here in quarter number 3. He dodged the tackle. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. The Packers and Jordan Love set to take over again. And he's kept up the pace all season long. To the point, look, he's in the top 5 across the NFL in passing. 1st down throw, here's Love. Completed to his running back. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. Great start to this drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just 1 play.
Gain of 22 yards. 1st down, Green Bay.
Love now on 1st and 10. Connects with the open man downfield. And he is down to the 30-yard line. Will you keep this drive moving, partner? Here's another 1st and 10.
That's another Packers 1st down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Shotgun now for Love. Completed over the middle. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Offensive line, this is 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Play action, Love. Hits his running back. And the gain only about 2 before he heads out. That means they're going to face 3rd down.
3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
Throwing now on 3rd and 2. Complete beyond the marker. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
And he only gets this one down to the 9. Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Love out of the shotgun. Catch is made in close. And they are going to have to face a 3rd down here, but only need a yard at most as this play picks up 7. On the sneak, it's Love. It's going to be short of that goal line, Brock, but not of the marker. They've got a 1st and goal.
It's a gain of 2. That's good for a Packers 1st down. 1st and goal, Green Bay.
Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Packers take the lead right away in half number 2. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here. And sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Return coming from the 6. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. The Vikings taking the field on offense. They find themselves trailing 20-13 after that score. Minnesota into formation. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now off the play action. Finds a man right side. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1 at the 38-yard line.
Running it now out of the gun. And this is headed the wrong way. They're going to lose yards here. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Well, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that run the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you call 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
Makes the grab in bounds left side. It's a Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings start the second half with some needed points. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
Patterson on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Vikings tie this game up. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Reynolds with a return. And he's brought down just inside the 25. Out now runs the Packer offense. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. And he stopped after picking up 9, so they're set up well here with 2nd and 1. First down carry got him 9 yards. Here comes 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Another carry for him. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. Pickup of 2 here. And And that's good for a Green Bay first down.
First down, Packers.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. Look at this, 9 yards on a nice first down run.
This is one of the plays when you hear people say the college game is starting to proliferate in the NFL. It's about speed and space. And this is yet another one of those opportunities to get your best athlete the ball, and you'll never argue with that type of result.
They get 6 and a first down as well.
Packers, first down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
To the air with Love. Short pass brought in. And he's tackled with markers down. This one should be on the defense. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Here's Love. Dumps it off to his running back. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Coming to the line for another first and 10.
First down. A gain of 14.
Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And that plunge is going to garner a couple of yards. That was T.J. Sanders on the tackle. After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The give now out of the shotgun. Well, he had to power through one tackle just to get back to the line that time.
He's tackled at the 32.
Nice drive here. It's up to 8 plays as they get set for 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6.
To the air on 3rd and long. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Kate, I've talked to you over the years of the transition to the NFL where the windows to throw are small. On 3rd down, smaller. Put dime defense on the field, and those windows become almost non-existent.
Aubrey puts it through, and they've taken back the lead.
He connects now for a 3rd time, and that's the biggest of the 3 field goals he's made in this contest. Gives him the lead. Now you turn the keys over to your defense to try and protect it.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. Escapes the defender. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air. So expect some tighter coverage this time around. To throw here on 1st down. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. Trying to find his tight end. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 24-yard line.
From the gun, it's Hall. He scrapes together a few yards, but not much. 3rd down coming up.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the first down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Hey, Mr. Quarterback, that's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage was waiting for it. Thinking interception to be had, and incompletion still pretty good for the defense.
And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. The Packers and Jordan Love set to take over again. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. Love now off the play action. Sheds off a rusher. Connects on the crosser. And he's all the way across midfield down inside that 45-yard line. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
First down, Green Bay.
These QBs make it look easy, but that requires such a large amount of body control when you throw it on the move. You got to be able to get the same accuracy you would if your feet are set. Sure takes a lot of repetition to make it look easy.
And finally, they bring him down. He shook off a couple of defenders there on a nice pickup.
Made at the 36-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Love from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And the stop is made at the 32, so give him almost enough for a new set of downs. QB sneak coming. And he's going to be touched down as he gets him enough to pick up the first down.
It's a gain of 2. That's good for a Packers first down.
So we're through 3 here. The Packers with it. They have the lead late, but this game is close. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Hand off to the back. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards. Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Shotgun snap. They'll throw. Finds him over the middle. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
A gain of 14. And the Packers first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here comes 2nd and 10. Quick throw out wide by Love. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Throwing his Love on 3rd. He brings it in. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. So a big kick coming up for Brandon Aubrey. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. Kicked well, and this is good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a one-score ball game.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them a lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Kate, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are and what they have to defend.
So they're going to begin from the 36 as he's brought down. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. So good field position to start with for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10. Throwing off the play fake. This is Jefferson, and he's got it. And they do get him down, but the damage is done. This gets down inside the 35-yard line. So a gain of 30 yards on that play. And the Vikings are going to have a first down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were. The QB just nailed it.
He'll get 16 yards on that play. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Right up the gut. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
Brought down by Ernest Jones. 1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9. At the Packers' 16-yard line.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Back now, pressure coming. I'll set up the screen here for Hall. Jukes away from one. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. 3rd and just 2 to go.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Here he is on 3rd and short. Dumped off to his running back. And that short field pass, Brock, is held to the short field. It's going to be 4th and short.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
Trying to push this past the marker. And they get to him and tackle him on the return. But will this turnover count, partner? I don't know. There's a flag on the play. Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach.
Automatic first down.
So now, following the penalty, it's 1st and goal. Running it after the penalty. So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. 2nd and goal coming up. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1?
And he'll bring it to the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings come through to tie it in the 4th. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
And he comes through on the kick to give him the lead here in the 4th quarter. Now to kick this away. Fielded at the 7. He dodged the tackle. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Packers and Jordan Love set to take over again. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this 2nd half. 1st down throw, here's Love. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. 3 yards there and enough to move the chains. From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. Play fake, it's Love. Throwing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
2nd and 10, Love trying again. Kraft has it. And he's stopped as he gets this one down to the 27-yard line. That one now some 33 yards and a new set of downs, too.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Just about every offense since the beginning of time, since the forward pass, Kate, has loved a tight end that could stretch the middle of the field. Man, I remember as a kid watching Kellen Winslow Sr. dice up right here between the hashes. And what a difference it can make for an offense.
2nd and 3 now.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 20-yard line.
Hits him on the out route. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Green Bay. The Packers take a 4th quarter lead. Here's Love up to the line. 2-point attempts coming.
The Packers will set up.
All right, they're going to throw for it. And he's got a man. Complete. And he gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That puts them in a much better spot now. Up 7 here in the 4th. All right, Brock, they win empty. We all expected a pass was coming, and they do indeed go to the air and connect on that strike for 2.
Yeah, once you empty that backfield, it does certainly, Kate, alert that defense to pass. And then it comes down to disguise. It comes down to timing, especially on a 2-point with everything condensed. Well done by that offense to go get 2.
The Vikings now set to take the field. Still time to go, Brock, but that touchdown has them down now 7. They've got to find the end zone here. On 1st down, they'll run. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4. So gain of 5 on that 1st down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd.
They give it to him again. And he's officially in enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. He gets 6 on that play. And the Vikings are going to have a first down. Back to the well again.
The running back again, the ball carrier.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back, because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Short pass caught by his tight end. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. Now, after that play, we've got somebody shaken up, and you don't want to see serious injury in the midst of their playoff push. He's being looked at here. Packers loading up the secondary on third. 6 DBs out there. They kick the running back in motion. Looking to throw. This could decide things. It's intercepted. And the Packers are going to have it after his second interception of the season.
That's now 2, Kate, that they've gotten him for picks in this game. He's got to be careful. But you've got to protect the football. It is the greatest treasure you have as an offense. And this defense, well, they've got 2 in their pocket, and you know they're going to be going after number 3.
Well, a lot of effort there, partner, but no results. He fought through that one stop, but only managed to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Second and 9.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Love. Completed over the middle. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Now before we reach the 2-minute warning, we've got a timeout. So that's the second one used by the defense in this half.
So typical, body of a donut, that's so typical. Turn like a god, that's so typical. Still modest, that's so typical. Don't wanna talk about it, so cynical, so cut it out like a.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NFL on He's back to throw. It takes a pop, and the ball comes out. And the Vikings have recovered. Nothing doing on the return, but the damage already done, partner. They take it away on the fumble. Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. Short pass brought in. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. It's the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Vikings down by 7. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
To throw. Hits him on the in route. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10.
Setting up to pass. Finds him over the middle. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. So a new set of downs. Here we go, 1st and 10.
First down.
He'll look to throw it. Catch is made in close. And he gets him the touchdown. And now a potential game-deciding play call coming up. And everyone can breathe easier now. His try is good, and they found a way to tie it late in the 4th. Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down.
First and 10.
Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out. Here he is to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. The Packers trying to hurry to the line.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. At the
Love from the gun. Connects on the crosser. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. Prior to first down, they decide to call a timeout. Love out of the shotgun. Finds a man right side. He reaches the sideline. Clock stops, but the defense holds him to a gain of maybe 6 or 7. Stick it in the air. Love. That throw behind his intended target. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here.
Brings up 3rd down.
Now to throw. And he's off the mark there. Too far behind him to adjust. That brings up 4th down. And punter making his way out now. And he's hoping for a well-placed strike. And he calls for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 14-yard line. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10.
15-yard line.
Here's the lone back on the handoff. And no questioning on that exchange, Brock. He hits for 8 on 1st down.
Brought down at the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Man, this has been such a great game. Nobody is ready for it to end just yet. After 4 quarters, we're headed to overtime. And in overtime here, Brock, I know you love this one. A touchdown, no longer an instant victory. No matter the outcome of that opening series, the other side gets the football with a chance to then tie or win it. And if we're tied after those 2 drives, we'll play on until there's another score or time expires.